None of the individuals no more the petition akono and they are politically or partisan exposed individuals. But they can Yakubu your friend say Akamba the lawyer not the police in India. No second one then Daniel Ofori.
Yeah, Daniel Ofori.
Or the accusation Makuma concern last one is saying 27.
Yeah.
Different accusations. And now or the above Chief Justice.
I brought 27
no. Last one. No.
Last one.
Yes, 27. But the rest in the explanation and other stuff.
Okay,
that is the last way. Yeah.
Okay.
So for Obi Obatenasiatro and some Marco 27. Chief Justice aye or the abono. Now Obi Nso personal encounter on the nya or the abono. And there is another group called Shining Stars. Also, the has to do with case. Our court. I need to interest you to know, sir, in that petition. The very people behind the petition are people working in the judiciary.
I see.
The very people within are we peeved or we name the akoso or more on my babonting and a year behind this particular petition. So I'm saying, say JB, say we a political party, nasa wa sem can. You build it on something substantial, Ghana for which me account one but not on some of these flimsy grounds. One,
Mami catch 27.
Okay, can 27.
So I said the Honorable Chief Justice acted arbitrarily and conspicuously and unreasonably when upon the plaintiff's representation in the case of Afenyo Markin versus the Speaker of Parliament.
Yeah.
She immediately and in the most unprecedented manner empaneled the Supreme Court for the hearing of the expedite application in the said case.
Yes. So the answer say na you say Supreme Court or convention is a Friday there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for the Speaker of Parliament issue no na Afenyo Markin.
Yes.
Less than 24 hours we had a panel. Now, a man for the president, Akufo Addo petition, I say on sign LGBT na court. They can't dominion issue chiraw. And that court for 2 good years. A man called retirement and several other instances. So when you do some of these things, and give you rise to that partiality, say you are working to satisfy a certain power or buy. And suddenly, when you give you a man for concern, and I mean, can we find to us? Other petition, no, the Daniel Ofori Troy, in the petition or Kasafa, according to a Chief Justice, private travel, and yet main travel, kwa. Yamrana say, Nepano Chief Justice, or private travel, yen to mean Janus Kwaku Annan, and your kwa, and you bet you way amount. But for security count, now only security no so adia bi sia anya hwe security no betimi aye bibi ansana babi a wono mabo ho ban ono na nani ateche nipa bia okọ no yi security ni si nchan e na ode ne ba e share security na nan first one ode ne ba US e no kotwa plane ticket 1 billion
plane ticket no koyin
US na sabi Noah apamada ka kwa no mokoforo akwa jebi so ukofuru Noah apamada ka kwa US a obetua 1 billion. And that is what the cost of we are model call your friends saying US or buy. Or call any no aqua utia per day $10,000 as under man ba. Or buy no senke
in what capacity? Utia man buy in what capacity?
Or yes, some for police in inco. And what drop a police officer
into Utia de ma police in no
and in the name of the back. Police in Obi or in the Juma or here ni baby a 7 corner so bibino
na ko be $1 kaka
obenya dollars kaka when you nesi nchando bako and see who second one na okọ Africa Tanzania and ono so tam ni kunu discipline o di police ni nesi nchan and okutua $6,000 e dey ama ni kunu etua plane ticket na so when you do some of these things so niama koso okroma o
people are raising a lot of comments say the internet say Omapeni John Dramani Mahama is so suspended Chief Justice, my recent one Ghana Bar Association more cracked on much the buy and you can we are near Babetwaso other matters so especially with the NPP for thank you Tono Mokono.
Yeah, Gabby. I did the kind of mention what here for Namenka say say a case beti chere on my amana we need very honest people who are very candid to issues na that fairness no and a bit me aboa and that honesty no and a bit me a mine. I was very surprised when I heard say Ghana Bar Association I shall say issue statement concerning this because we've been in this country for the past 8 years Niama akoso binyana obi anim. A number of instances everybody became aware say your judiciary was getting compromised to the extent say individuals the issue court betimi atwan ama asem no na impact awu ansa na yakotena say the who ruling aba enema akoso back and forth pan na the executive efas one asabi all 100 individuals out of their position domilivo yedim they go through several other individuals, but this association was so quiet to the extent say some of us thought that they never even exist. All of a sudden government has changed and then they found their voice. It's good. Maybe I can say in a democracy we need the institutions to be very vocal, very participative. But you see, when you do some of these things, you bring your credibility on the line. It's the reason why some people have suddenly questioning the moral, your friend is saying, we are the Ghana Bar Association at this time to be jumping into the fray all of a sudden defending what is going on. In the first place, petitioner air cost. Nobody, including the NPP and your friend saying GBA, has been able to prove with a single evidence indeed the President Mahama Aye so far is in direct contravention with existing laws of engagement. None, not even one. Now, or more country say he should call the Chief Justice back. Now, the question is that discretion rested with the President. If you go to the Constitution, now a case say yetimi establish merit in the case every now say committee tenase na oye na dwuma at that point the president may that is a constitutional discretion that is imposed on the president to exercise that power enya Ghana Bar Association there enya political party be there even the NDC as a political party no okura ban no enya ne there that decision solely rests on the president to make that discretion. The president sat down and says, the woman should sit aside. And all of a sudden, there is this strengthened advocacy calling on the president or on bringing it back. So even if the president resigned on that decision of woman the number back, you could see and now you to the mechanism because it was out of nothing and a president cast on control. This is a woman who is responding to 3 separate petitions. You need time to go out there and have time to respond. But all of a sudden, the whole thing has been turned into some kind of a political football. In the first place, petition and people know where it is coming from. The first one they will know was brought forward by a police officer, our ACP.
I see.
On an issue no started with Takrade. Okoto land from your friend saying Netherlands maybe ho. Netherlands, ne girlfriend or Ghana ha forge documents. Enya the power of attorney from that Brunino and Okoton assassin a beachfront or secondary. And them police officer no. And a police officer no toy. But later sa asem no court no na documents near fraud and police anya due diligence and ba no agye sika. So which means that the property you cannot own it. Asem no court secondary high court or mudi we and ba Supreme Court. Supreme Court bench no so and a police officer or lawyer only Chief Justice Benya that encounter. Okay. Ye di asem no gu ni so no or say after ruling no Chief Justice catch and say you incompetent e kan kasa fin na se for chere no.
Oh really?
Oh yes. E wo bench no catch and say mo sora mu nim hwe your friend say police senior police officer what asem oba court or you need to just some no can according to the petitioner no was very disparaging. And now all respondents say or disagree with Chief Justice and some no can chere no. And I'm say yancheno because we're disrespecting him. And this police officer was arrested and he was detained. So clearly, JB, issue way now a chop petition that come a president a hefa and I politically motivated. A hefa na John Mahama Gina say your friend is saying or no show be because this is a personal beef between Obia why you sue court and the Chief Justice. Yeah. And as some no guswa air coso. As some no court or the court right. Am I on some crossing way? So issue are appended for several times. And or they are thrown in the form of a petition or they come a president. At the end of the day, Council of State close with those power to ensure that they establish merit or not. JB, ma panimfo ne lawyers in panimfo. Oko Council of State here. Who is that Madam Sophia Akufo Tisubi?
Yes, or Tisubi.
Who is that Akotobamfo? Tisubi, former retired way. Who is that your friend say Madam Betimo Idrusu by a former Attorney General? These are legal brains. I know the day or more scrutinize the petition who said there is substance in it and that the president should proceed not on setting up a committee. And the what in China now you have issues with it. The question is based on what? As a foreign MPP, they didn't ask for no more. The question is a dear baby in a swore, and a mujina swaka say, Kwaya Mahama Fasa all year, Juman Watomra A, B, C, D, and T. There is no basis. So for me, so all these are petty partisan issues. No serious mind will avail anything to it. Remember the say, Yebi, the course within our judiciary, no, a certain chief justice. A such any individual. It is about the sanctity and the credibility of our judiciary, and that we must do everything to protect its integrity. Since I'm not say how many Ghanaians and what trust away judiciary? It's none. Now, no, small set research on what the buy. You saw the outcome. Yes. In a democracy, my culture said the most important thing has to do with the trust and confidence citizens repose in the state institution. Because we need trust our state institution. You will never use that institution. So if we've gotten to a point in time where Ghana for to do now and Jacob to need, I don't know, it threatens our very cohesion, it threatens our existence, and it threatens the foundations of our democracy as well. So, you'll be a sabi. When you see those signs, you don't even fight it, you resign and go home. But who yeah, Juma mo for see impel over TV so what is the point you sitting here? What as an American? Because you are not working for yourself, you are working for the people. Now people are rebelling against you based on legitimate concerns or more. As a reasonable person, you bow out and go. But in our situation, that is not the case. So, my main kind of essence of the Ghana Bar Association for Kratomotro and the Koye, our paragraph 2 of the petition and I said Kratomotro, I said per the Constitution, Code of Ethics and Regulations of the GBA, the GBA concerns itself with the matters affecting the legal profession, which includes but not limited to defending and upholding freedom and justice in Ghana and maintaining the maintenance of independence of the judiciary. Now, I say, as of 27th March 2025, when the General Council of the GBA met, 3 petitions had been submitted for the removal of the Chief Justice, and 2 cases had been instituted at the Supreme Court challenging the procedure that had been triggered for the removal of the Chief Justice, with subsequent application for injunction of the said processes. The GBA is mindful of the provisions of Article 246, Clause 6 and 7 of our 1992 Constitution, which detail the processes of the removal of the Chief Justice by providing the following. A. A. Where the petition is for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall, acting in the Constitution with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed by the chairman by the President, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. The committee appointed under Clause 6 of this article shall inquire into the petition and recommend to the President whether the Chief Justice ought to be removed from office. Yes. We're just an asset of the yes. And more, so I think this is the most important. Yes. So have there been, nobody has been able to establish as we speak, said there has been any controversy, any offense saying obi exactly, like processes now on so wa form and answer on form for you to activate your voice. You understand that? So I idea say President Mahama has circumvented any of the laid down procedures. Now all Gabby, we some of us will not come and sit here and say the process should go through. But as it stands now, so all concerns those concerns must be premised on legitimate grounds. Are grounded in law, grounded in fact. So when you're speaking, Sanka John Mahama appointed Obia or judge. One far judge, no, cover NDC minimum now, but now we know so that is a legitimate concern. But as we stand, none of the provisions as outlined in the Constitution, and a president abuse any of them. So at the end of the day, and I'm going to talk about petition. This is not the first time a president is receiving a petition and removing a judge.
Yeah, that's true.
Aremeyaw Anas at the petition, a comma, your friend is saying, President Akufo Addo, Abra Binumu Kwaje Mponche na se Abra committee no set it up where merit in the case our premier facia was established. President Akufo Addo suspended 4 judges, including Justice Dóom. At that time, no issue no munya nwe. Isn't not the same thing here? Yes. So at the end of the day, Abra committee ni we na juma the 4 judges were dismissed by President Akufo Addo. It's on record. And again, say Nkrofo yo mo na mo mudi nsemu ye dede. Asefo ane ni Nkrofo yi. I said when you said Binsi Wokromada, let me take you back to 2015. Mami Bini Afenyo Loretta Lamte. Now on now ye Shraj boss. Oh, Kroma President Mills and our point. Say no. And now you were friend saying another Dompreh.
Yeah.
Extra petition the Koma President Mahama say. Mami na disika. Okbe kaya story biba say we 2 free ni fia ko han dan or airport way. Enti that particular issue when it came. Another Dompreh petition the Koma President Mahama say ma me onyi na di enye ono nko a ye fra brante bi Richard Nuama or MPP ni ono nso tro the same petition the Koma President Mahama. The woman was appointed by Professor Mills under NDC administration. John Mahama J petition or set it up because their powers is equal to be our high court way.
Yeah, sure.
President Mahama set it committee. All the investigation we man conclude say ma me no ampa wa from mera. The same President Mahama here no more accusing sack the woman. It's on record. So, and you okay, but you obi dia. That is the attitude I hate. When you think you are better than Obi. So when I wear there, that is okay, but and you wanna Obi na there.
But the petition against this Chief Justice, no, say I'm under NDC time.
The waiver.
Chief Justice we are.
This one.
Yes.
Oh, about recently, yeah.
Akufo Addo time say be by.
Exactly.
For
the petition India has been coming, and Akufo Addo received the same petition. Yes. Consulted the Council of State and then asked for ruling no by or some merit in no boku here. At that time, nobody took the president on because we him say a legitimate way all play. So and Americans say all these things, the MPP is a party that is clutching at straws. And then for me, I think Zenka election more loosen. They need to sit down, just put pieces together because as we stand now, there is a bridge between you and the people of this country because of Nsemuna Akosu Okroma. There be a room for you. Could you imagine, say? No, Mahusa. Nema Akosu Okroma, Emma Ghana. For that bridge, air cost, and now, Madam Hanabisi Ukoye interview, and I talk about mineral development fund. Do you know, sir? Kwabrane etimi ede eko han dan cubicle etua 12 years in advance in dollars e wo kroma etua 12 years in advance sikani nyina $1.4 million dan bank office bank na wo pese wo si wo kroma wuntimi fa $1 million ensi wo kroma say by these people rented it out to Obi eko ji hu sika etua ni nyina nti we aban na wo ba there is nothing that you can do. So these are concerns are Ghana for and I'm so more aba. And so make sure say and some now can say you have some people and their concerns they rendered as some political parties on by demonstration and a goom issue statement say and then who's a PPP for issue statement. So clearly you could see say this is a sinking party. Sabi, or they're just trying to clutch at straws. And some day, no. Say President Mahama Afuma Monfamra, you will discuss it. But as it stands in the May, I think the facts that Ghana for any GD judiciary, enough for us to prune the institution because we want to be international man for use the judiciary as a tool, a political tool. Yeah, the cow man for ADCC a man for and a classic case has to do with the Dompreh case. Issue about Nipan is challenging the constitutionality of Adia president here. Yet me tena se ma papa no call retirement and son na mami free asem no. Na abro ni be ye we no hefa. What I say, unfortunately for her, the same person is also sitting on the committee today. So we go kwatire ni makwatire so much. And like I say obo papa e da wanim. So I think say Ghana force should not fall for this nonsense that is in play. We want institutions to be sanitized. Resetting institution, will come with some of these things. And I can sit here and promise you, sir, it's not just going to be the Chief Justice. Trust me. Any institution be filthy.
Are you targeting the EC?
I'm saying say any institution be a filthy be and will be cleansed. Say because the president has a mandate.
Yeah.
That mandate is sacred, and he cannot afford to fail the people of this country. John Mahama had just 4 years. The name he will leave after will depend on things that he does. I think that all that he can do is to save the sanctity and the integrity of state institution. Now, about good hands, Ghana for once again have trust and confidence in state institutions.
All right. You
Kweku Annan.
Can you say
no, because last one,
that is the 20th.
27.
27.
None of the individuals no more the petition and they are politically or partisan exposed individuals. But they can Yakubu, your friend say Akamba, the lawyer, not the police in India. Second one, then Daniel Ofori.
Yeah, Daniel Ofori.
Or the accusation Markuma concern last one is saying
27.
27.
Yeah.
Different accusations. And now the above Chief Justice.
I brought 27 now.
No, last one. No.
Last one.
Yes, 27. But the rest in here explanation and other stuff. That is the last way. Yeah.
Okay.
So for Obi Obatenasi and some Marco 27. Chief Justice aye or diabono. Now Obi nso akwakofa personal encounter on any nya no diabono. And there is another group called Shining Stars. Also, the has to do with case. Our court I need to entrust you to know, sir, in that petition. The very people behind the petition are people working in the judiciary.
I see.
The very people within are we peeved or we name the akoso or more on my babon thing and a year behind this particular petition. So I'm saying, say JB, say we a political party, nasa wa sem can. You build it on something substantial, Ghana for which me account one but not on some of these flimsy grounds. One, okay.
Mamin 27.
Okay, can 27.
So I said the Honorable Chief Justice acted arbitrarily and conspicuously and unreasonably when upon the plaintiff's representation in the case of Afenyo Markin versus the Speaker of Parliament. Yeah. She immediately and in the most unprecedented manner empaneled the Supreme Court for the hearing of the expedite application in the said case.
Yes. So the answer say na you say Supreme Court or convention say Friday there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for the Speaker of Parliament issue no na Afenyo Markin. Yes. Less than 24 hours we had a panel. Na amount for the president Akufo Addo petition na say on sign LGBT na koda court na yenyanyaye be kan domilivo issue chirawo e da court for 2 good years e man call retirement and several other instances. So when you do some of these things will give you rise to that partiality, say you are working to satisfy a certain power or buy and sadly when you give you amount for concern and I mean can we infant to us so other petition no the Daniel Ofori Troy in the petition or Kasafa according to a Chief Justice private travel and main travel kwa yamrane say nepa no Chief Justice or private travel yentumi Janes kwa kwase onko enti okwa anya hwe yebetua wo yama but for security ka ho na woni security no nko sa ade bi si a anya hwe security no betumi aye bibi ansana babi a wono mabɔ ho ban ono na nani ateche nipa bia okɔ no yi security ni si nkyɛn ɛna ɔde ne ba ɛhyɛ security na nan first one ɔde ne ba US ɛna okotwa plane ticket 1 billion
plane ticket no kɔ
US na sabi Noah apamada ka kwa no mokɔforo akɔ a jebi sa wokɔforo Noah apamada ka akɔ US a obetua 1 billion and that is what the cost of we are the call your friend saying US or buy or call any no akwa otua per day $10,000 as under man ba okọ buy no senke si
wa capacity otua man buy in what capacity
na yes some for police ni nko and what drop police officer
into otua dey ma police ni no
and in the name of the ba police ni obi a oye na dwuma ohia ni ba bi a sabi nko no so obenya bibi no
na ko be $1 kaka
obenya $1 kaka when you sin chando obakọ and see who second one na okọ Africa Tanzania and on so tam ni kunu discipline o police ni na sin chan and okotua $6,000 e dey ama ni kunu etua plane ticket na so when you do some of these things so niama koso okroma when you do some of these things now what Chief Justice yes yes your boss and koso betimi etua but this is what they did and when you do some of these things confidence in state institution ebe ye shaky because this issue na ye kan no ade ba ko amanfo hu ni say So obi a chief justice awa ho. We a chief justice judge that is separate. And then you've been given administrative role which is different.
Yeah.
So in the exercise of that administrative role, there's a one share now former. Don't come and say people are hounding you because you are a judge. And then they be see tamaleno. When say Yavan saying Oko teaching hospital, a doctor, and are all performing administrative role.
Yeah.
The person is a doctor. Nobody obiani as a doctor, but an extra administrative role that has been given to me. Yeah. So we are Ghana Medical Council now. We are worried that the person is not being punished because of being a doctor, but as an extra administrative role. And for me, even that particular practice, and I think we need to end it. Doctors are not supposed to be running facilities.
That's it.
You train them to go and do surgery, then as a for cop patient. This nonsense needs to stop in this country. What I say, it's another day, whether the person has the expertise or he doesn't have it. Then because we need a doctor to run your teaching hospital, no. There are, if you go to some of these hospitals, there are challenges. Now, I can't call Tamaleno. Yet is all because Sunyai. Kohe you move to too light.
Flexible from.
I was Sunyani Regional Hospital. Sunyani Regional Hospital. In transfer. It means on their own, they can do better.
Yeah.
But because Obiani, I think we need to be very strong and stiff. And then making sure institutions will be very effective once again. Sabi your mind about running. Now yes, I need Jana Trase, you'll be a bear the ope.
Mami Asemi. We are sure so no one casa before Abano Ebes Sano nim say Fientono.
Well, I mean, say
so no ati honum no. Yet to about ya NDC every no. Not being natural say she ento.
Send the political appointment. So
any political appointment.
Yeah.
Now bibi are you any political?
Oh.
Any political appointment but politician need do basis so.
Yeah, that's true. But the Chief Justice for Honomwa, Georgina Wood, for instance, I mean, was serving under 2 different presidents, and one massive beer. So, I mean,
say, yeah, can I say no? On far home to be Abrakon or more brapa. What I say, Hanty Abraboya old boy say, and ya, and found caught to be. Because Mamma Samia ye can work. Many on your chair say. And your president,
why?
And your president, Mama, near Tnasia Castle, o ye mammy, if you. Meaning, so I can or baby a chess president, Mama, I can say, or baby, Chief Justice, Hodma. On can or baby. Naming Jeannie saying this in the Biswako can or baby say. Chief Justice, ye best suspending and I say, ye be in a few honum. Yen na yen near air coso.
Yeah.
Say ansana ye beto abakrampo no ebi mu di kan petition say maame adwuma oye no emwa eninti ye nyini free honum. And of course because say politics so ne ye enti no nipa constitution no man kwan say obetimi ayi maame ya free ho ane ye president oti ase enwe nso krampo no constitution no kire kwan a as a president efaso edi mami anase odi chief justice efri honum na de Emma obi ebeka say enye political appointment entimu enyi mami no enfri honum no saa de kro na say akire nipa kro say eye constitution no a eno so politician ni bedi animu aye ho adwuma no ene de mami esi so what you say because constitution no kire kwan abefa so aba chief justice eno anso ne san kire kwan betumi afa so ayu afri ho no enti se wa bien kire say du sisu na entimu nyu mfri ho a kai hu say sam kwan kro na ye fa so do ekoye no sa kwan kro na no befa so akọ what you say enti no ebi mu can ni say yentimu nyini mfri because say enye political appointment as a foreign there non starter and minua ye nyina ye nim say petition na ebi mu de koye na be ka say president Akufo Addo enyi chief justice enfri ho no ono oya no hwete ne sram ekosie what you say eno no free ho no ebi mo nso asanya petition biem nipa ba kono ansa na aban ba be da na ebi mo petition say you mfiri ho no aban no san dane no de nka yamfa no say aban na na wo ho ni mani ebi mo mpewasem aban na sen adane ebi mo so asena ba be petition say yenye den yenyu emfi ho no na che say waduma yensa ni Musa Dankwa ayi reporter or the buy say about 52% say mami bempeno
Ghana for bempeno
le bempeno enye mama aduma no wo yo Chief Justice nye mama aduma no wo ye Ghana for aduma no wo ye ni Ghana for bele bempeo enti
Ghana for bele bempeo simple
enti the issue of say President Mama now I say ebimo edi bam no make hu amenti ase enye President Mama ne akwakoshe nkrofo bi mu achi say benka say Chief Justice bempeno ni even crown in the first place no petition na ebae no enkyere say President Mama efiti preko pa na okase onye dey onkofi kyere ne say o consult with the Council of State. Why? That is the first phase. The second phase, yes, say, no so no, or forward the edebro. Now, I say, Bantu Asa na say basis woman, but for the petition of the abro, what catcher say they should carry on. Was set 5-member committee.
Yeah.
What you say? Enti adentia, nipa entna say, na benhwe say, kwanya President Mama de adeno air faso no. Kwan be ne be fa so akọ ampanifo kan say mi say uti mu fita ntiam wanku enti say o feel say onye boni bia the issue of say Ghana Bar Association mo e court na danche mu church letters mo ne nasefo be mi nyan emam what you say emam but ade we aye kan so won san so ye adisuade e de ma obi bia say ba bia e be appoint o akobia no wo to ho no ma ye waduma yie say one ni wadun ye na say ochina bi ekoba ne say bibi say ya wonyo obi ama ne nka bi ma he me no wo kan maami ni ebesi o ti ase onimba bi ade be kwa wie ayi of friends Ghana Bar Association benimba bi ade kwa wie yes say lawyers nya sa mpempi no onim say wo case ya odi animu kan ye de ubetum nso odi animu enu abiri bade ye ma no Chief Justice say o client
when you do
o client ma ayi of friends Ghana Bar Association enti beni ba bi e be kwa wie nanso ye no be ko enu be ko ti se funu die mbi no ye nya dram na no mu awonko anu be ko what you say enti ne besi na mom so obi ti ba bi no feel say nye besi no na ninje ho a
why so dey koyefa why so dey ifa
me dey say nye besi what you say nye besi say yin bebe yin afiri ho a bebe yin afiri ho no what you say hwe nipa ba akon petition nko a ekobe 8 nyesa wo ye no so kura afiri ho no ma Musa Dankwa report you so che say about 52% of Ghanaians lebempe no answer na ban ba bedan o ka say National Security Minister Kandapa I can't be the same thing say the way asem kokota ye tambia na akwa che ba di dia ma ban tambia say NPP and ba di dia ma NPP no ben hwe ni yie ma ba twe Kandapa National Security Minister mi o ba twe na no deceive bone enu no achi Chief Justice anim yabo a enso be kan the same thing or kan similar thing say the way now I say amount for any justice e wo krom he say e few people any justice na nyina no wo so na ye Chief Justice
in the case of Cecilia Jabin and the Chief Justice, that is the Supreme Court. No akasa be press conference say Cecilia Adorye I mean he's not getting any support from anywhere.
What you say enti no media nya me kan say ye nyina ye nipa bia amfom so wo ho eni nti ya no ma ye kita hanki no e cho say wo ye den a bibi boni bi be ba ho na wa pepa what you say na mom enye ma ne mro so saa ene no niema a wo ye no ni nyina ani ada ho ma obia ahu enti me nua me kan say Chief Justice no onu anim dada we say no dey buy time yanso ye so buy time yanso ye ho ye hwe what you say na mom e twuduru ho an ye pam ne tam
o say
e twuduru ho an ye pam ne tam say an ya pam na say wan hwe ye ba na eso a enko o pam ne kese yanso na ba na say eso a ebe hinhan mu nti eduru ho mu ma ni ebe pam ne tam ti ye hwe ba bia ayi nsuo di brode huma ebe fa
that's it
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.